Predict Cascades is asset software for a specific operational decision. Forecasts cascade failure patterns across asset networks by simulating system interactions and dependencies. This video explains what the tool does, why the workflow matters, and how the output becomes useful decision evidence. The problem is that assets teams often manage this workflow with scattered inputs, inconsistent review rules, and manual interpretation. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. Predict Cascades narrows that process into a repeatable model so teams can compare cases without rebuilding the logic each time. Predict Cascades starts with a defined input contract. Typical inputs include number of assets, see average dependencies per asset, initial failure probability, propagation probability, and resilience factor. Keeping these fields explicit reduces ambiguity and makes every run easier to audit. The workflow then applies identify assets whose failure would affect at least the criticality threshold percentage of the network based on dependency connections. Calculate the median number of assets affected in cascade failure simulations, considering initial failure probability, propagation likelihood, and resilience attenuation. Determine the maximum theoretical propagation steps through the asset network based on dependency density, propagation probability, and resilience. Calculate overall system vulnerability score 0-100 by weighting critical assets percentage UAS 60% and cascade size percentage 40%. And determine the resilience level needed to contain cascade failures to 3 or fewer assets based on propagation probability. This keeps the process deterministic, reviewable, and aligned with how assets teams actually make decisions. Predict Cascades returns structured outputs such as system vulnerability index, critical assets, median cascade size, required resilience, and cascade size probability distribution. These outputs are designed to support review, reporting, comparison, and follow-up actions. The value of Predict Cascades is not just automation. It is a controlled way to turn repeated assets work into a documented business process with clear inputs, transparent logic, and reusable outputs.